They say you're only young ones, but we live for it, we die for it, we live for forever. They say you're only young ones, but we live for it, we live for it, we live for forever. You at the hideout, where we can dream again. I'll tell you all my secrets, wearing courage like a second skin. The kids are all dying.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, stream is live.
So I shouldn't speak?
Yeah, mute your mic for a while. I'm just gonna make Twitter announcements and shit.
What did you do to me? I killed down no 1, 2, 3 for champions. I can't believe you're trolling. No, it was supposed to be my pentakill. What did you do to me? I killed down no 1, 2, 3 for champions. I can't believe you're trolling.
Wait a minute!
So I said no, it was supposed to be my pentakill. What did you do to me? I killed down no 1, 2, 3 for champions. I can't believe you're trolling. No, it was supposed to be my pentakill. What did you do to me? I killed down no 1, 2, 3 for champions. I can't believe you're trolling. We crave for knowledge. The fire makes the city look so bright. Close your eyes and just stay tight. We have to go. Stay with me while we leave. Don't worry, just believe me. This journey will relieve us. Stay with me while we leave. Stay with me while we leave. Don't worry, just believe me. This journey will relieve us. Stay while we leave. Stay with me. Stay with me while we leave. Don't worry, just believe me. This journey will relieve us. Stay with me while we leave. Stay with me while we leave. Don't worry, just believe me. This journey will
Gambit, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Lobbies are up. Let's jump in.
Yeah.
Trace of the night on the way back down from the sky where you left my soul. Can you help me fly? I can't resist, 'cause you have got a hold on me. And all these thoughts, when you are here, you light up the dark sides. To live in the night.
Welcome back, everybody. It's day 2 for the Southeast Asian Open Qualifiers for the International 2017. I'm CloudX. With me, I've got Gambit. We're going to be watching Execration going up against O2 Esports in a best of 1 for the round of 16. Gambit, what's happening, my man?
Feeling a little sad that there are no Indian teams in the round of 16 anymore. So, no real Indian dream that is alive here.
Bias caster,
But-
PogChamp. Yo, by the way, there's a little bit of
I think-
echo. I can hear myself through your microphone or through your headset.
10 seconds
I'm
remaining.
gonna try and fix that a little bit. Is that better?
I can't tell yet, but you know, I can still hear a little bit of myself.
Yeah, I really don't know what's wrong. Okay, how about now?
I don't know. If it crops, okay, I can still hear myself. Lovely.
Dire
I think
team
your
back.
headphones might be too loud or something because your mic is probably picking up the noise from your headset.
Okay, fair enough.
Anyway,
How about
Execration on the Dire, O2 Esports on the Radiant. You've got the Night Stalker band coming out, and Puck gets banned along with him. While Execration have gone ahead and banned out the Treant along with the Nyx. This leaves in the LC if they favor it highly. Alternatively, we could also see. Wait, what?
Dire
Straight up
team
Pudge. I was gonna talk about brackets and other things apart from the draft, but with straight up Pudge pick, looks like we'll have to focus on the draft here.
I've seen, if I'm not mistaken, O2 Esports, their Facebook cover picture has someone tagged as a Pudge player. Yeah, it's AU that apparently plays a lot of Pudge, so it may not come as that much of a surprise for teams, for folks that actually follow this team. But for those of you wondering who or what O2 Esports are, it's a team that's comprised of some well-known folks like Yamate, AU, Ling, MyPro, and NJ. These are all folks that have at one point in time been at the top of Southeast Asian Dota. While on the other side, you've got Execration, the Pinoy powerhouse with Raging Potato, Nando, Lumic, James, and who are we missing? Who's the last one?
5 seconds
RR?
remaining.
I'm not too sure. It's been a while since I followed this team, I'll be honest.
Reserve time.
But
I think
that's
it's
what,
RR.
that's what Facebook pages are for. Yeah, it's RR.
How about Bimbo? Bimbo RR King. Okay. We have everyone. We got everyone covered.
So, what are your predictions, man? I mean, we haven't seen. I don't think either of us have watched these two teams at all through the qualifiers.
Nope. I mean, O2 Esports just formed only for the open calls, so we couldn't have watched them even if we wanted to. But even this version of Execration is not something we've seen. They're a little way past their glory stages. They had a decent run once upon a time, but things have not
Radiant
been the same.
team banned.
Life Sealer along with the Clockwork coming out for Execration. It remains to be seen if this is going to be an offlane Clockwork or if they're just going to run this as a roaming 4 position support. As for O2 Esports, I highly doubt we're going to
10
see
seconds remaining.
a mid Pudge. This should be the roaming 4 Pudge with the 5 position
seconds
Rubik.
remaining.
I'm still confused as to how you pick up a straight up first pick Pudge. I mean,
Dire team banned.
I don't
Execration are
think
playing
it's...
against it. They know.
Radiant team
I mean,
banned.
they're countering it. They're definitely picking up heroes which won't really
I mean,
can go head to head.
I don't think it's bad. I don't think there's anything wrong with first picking the Pudge, to be honest. It still leaves your draft open. If you want to play super aggressive... Wow, you just broke something, dude.
10
Yeah,
seconds
that's my bad.
remaining.
Rip. So, like I was saying, you could always run this as a mid Pudge and, switch things up. Alternatively, you could always run the roaming Pudge. Roaming support Pudge is more of a threat than folks make him out to be. The fact that hook is pure damage it's a really valuable skill to have, especially if you have enough stuns to guarantee the
10
hook.
seconds
And,
remaining.
with the telekinesis already in tow, I think this should make for a good support
5
duo.
seconds remaining.
And there's also the
I'm
fact
not
that...
convinced.
there's also the fact that they've picked up the Life Sealer into the
Radiant
Pudge.
team picked.
One of the best ways to deal with the Life Sealer is, of course, to shut down his mobility during the duration of the rage. And with the Dismember that goes through Magic Immunity, I think it's a match made in heaven.
Yeah, I'm still not too sold on it. I mean, sure, it's not a bad hero to pick, but showing it off in the first phase, I think teams generally can counter it decently with their
Dire team
drafting
picked.
knowledge. Here.
Well
But they pick up the Oracle, which is a support we don't see a lot of nowadays. And I mean, it's not that the hero's bad. It's just that they've uh,
10
improved or
seconds
buffed the other
remaining.
supports a little bit. So I feel like Oracle has kind of come down
5
on pecking
seconds
order there.
remaining.
Yeah, but personally, I do favor the Oracle quite a bit. I think that's a hero that hasn't gotten enough love.
I
There's
actually keep seeing you play a lot of Oracle all the time.
That's my
I told
go-to solo MMR support, man.
Ah,
Because Ogre is really popular in my brackets,
Uh-huh.
right? So as the roaming 4 position support. One of the best ways to deal with that is you pick up the Oracle, camp the middle lane for the first 3 minutes, shrug off the ignite burn damage with the Fortune's End. Did I call it Fortune's End? It's Fortune's End. My bad. And then you just go back to your lane and harass heroes with your ridiculously low base attack time on that support. Queen's gonna be the pick coming out from Execration though. This is a hero that's gotten a lot of love of late, but a hero that has a timer and does fall off come mid game if she doesn't get a snowball start.
Yeah, and I said that Execration, they're counter picking the Pudge, but looks like with the Razor, O2 have started counter picking the
10
Lifestealer now.
seconds remaining.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a bit of back and forth coming in from
5
both teams in the
seconds
draft.
remaining.
But I think Queen of Pain is a pretty decent hero and has had a lot of success in the SEA scene. I mean, it's been a hero that's been there for a while, but I mean, with the Blade Mail nerf and the lifesteal from the spells nerf, she kind of faded out for a while till they brought her back in with a new Veil build.
Yeah, and then you've also got that novelty level 25 talent where you shadow strike everything in the AoE, man.
I don't think anyone takes that skill.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But yeah, always a cheeky bit of a cheeky spell to have if you're trying to, get tilt your opponents at the end of the game. But Lina is going to be the pick coming out from O2 Esports, one of the better heroes to deal with the co-op at mid. That excessive range on the Lina with the ability to push out the creep waves consistently makes her a real force to be reckoned with. And at this
10
point,
seconds remaining.
Lina's, as long as she watches her positioning carefully, she should not be
5
picked off. And
seconds
I mean,
remaining.
she should always be aware of a clockwork coming in from behind for those ganks. Should be a really hard
Yeah,
kill.
and yeah, I mean the ganking potential coming out from O2 is really
Radiant
high.
team back.
With the Rubik setup, they can almost
Radiant
guarantee a
team
Lina stun, or they can even guarantee a Pudge hook. So the rotations coming out from within these three heroes will be really interesting to watch.
You've got an LC ban coming out as the final ban from Execration while Batrider gets removed from O2 Esports. Both teams looking for an
10
offlaner at the
seconds
moment. What does O2 go for here? Their options include a
5
Timbersaw if they want to
seconds
fall back on it, and a Baron if they're going to bring him back. Yeah, I do like the Baron here. I
Reserve
think
time.
the ability to wait, what the holy hell just happened?
Dire team pick.
Support Morphling,
Or is that an offlane Pudge?
Yeah, so support Morphling then, or support Lina then.
Yeah, support. No, I can't for the life of me figure out what's going on here.
I don't think anyone. Maybe the Razor
10
goes mid because Morphling can't mid against Queen of Pain. That's not a likely scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
5
Razor
seconds
mid against
remaining.
Queen of Pain, Lina support, Morphling carry, Rubik support, and Pudge offlane.
Reserve
That could
time.
work. But that
That probably
offlane
makes
is going to be
sense.
Lifestealer, Oracle, and Clockwork versus a Pudge. I don't see how the Pudge survives there. And
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's not like you
I
can
don't
go
know.
into.
Maybe they have some shenanigans they want to try with.
Yeah, there's probably going to be those shenanigans where the Pudge hooks a creep into the lane and then.
Yeah. Nonsense like that.
Anyway, what's the last pick coming out from Execration here? They're looking for their own offlaner.
I think something which has a little bit of initiation is good for them. Just relying on the clockwork will mean that if your hook shot misses, you really have no way of going into these fights.
Alternatively, they could run this as an offlane Clockwork and then just pick up something like the Silencer to deal with that morph, assuming it is a core morph. One of the best ways to deal with the morphling is... What are you doing, man? Stop trashing your house.
Tinker.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on here?
What is this draft coming? Tinker and Queen of Pain.
So, what? Offlane Queen of Pain now?
I think we're just gonna have to wait and watch. This is too much to predict. Like both the lineups have really weirded me out here.
I can't for the life of me figure out who's going where, but... Yeah, if
It
I
has
had to...
be Tinker in the mid lane. I don't see Tinker any other lane other than the mid.
I mean, safe lane Tinker is a thing, or it was a thing a couple of times.
Oh man. Suddenly when Dendi plays it and it's never turned out well.
I don't know about that, man. I do remember a few successful safe lane tinkers with 4-minute BOTs. But yeah, this if it is going to be a mid tinker, then yeah, we're looking at an off lane quap or possibly even an aggressive tri lane with the Life Sealer, Clockwork, and the Oracle. While O2 Esports, we should be seeing a core morphling here. But is NJ their support or is he their core?
I feel like NJ is the support because in the I know NJ is the captain, and in the SEA scene generally they keep the. I mean, it's the norm has been for the support player to be the IGL in the game, so I'm assuming that he is. But we've had exceptions. There has been Mushi, of course.
Alright, we're going to be jumping right in here, folks. To start things off, we're going to open up with the introductions. On the side of Execration, you've got Raging Potato handling the Queen of Pain. Lifesteal is going to be played by Nando. Clockwork's going to be in the hands of Lumic. You've got James playing that Tinker, which puts Oracle in the hands of a name that we don't know, possibly RR.
That's supposed to be RR. And it's an offlane morphling by the looks of things. Yeah, he's gone with the Mango. Yeah, it looks to be an offlane morphling. So Midas Scepter, generally that seems like a good build to me. But
Alright, on the other side, like you said, NJ on that offlane morphling. We're looking at Razor handled by MyPro. Pudge is going to be in the hands of Ling. Lina is going to be played by Yamate, and that puts Kudasai or AU, I believe, on the Rubik.
yeah, should be. But didn't we discuss that AU plays a lot of Pudge?
Yeah, I'm not sure why that changed. I'm just going to
Which one is Yamate? MyPro is Yamate.
drop my settings a bit. I've actually got a little bit of FPS failure happening here.
Oh, Yamate is already here. My bad.
Yeah, that's better.
I had a brain fart moment. Thankfully, you were not there to witness it.
I was here, I heard it, I just chose to ignore it, man.
Okay,
The battle begins.
so sweet.
So, Raging Potatoes on that bottom lane. What is this off-lane morphling? I don't think I've seen this before.
I've seen it. It's been run by ISSIs before. It's been a very cheesy pick where you try and farm with a replicate. But do
But
they even have a...
Assuming he hits
replicate?
level 6, man, this is such a... It's gonna be a
I
difficult
think you can
game
get
for
2
him.
hooks, right? With the... If you can get the Aghanim Scepter and the Midas. I mean, the Midas and the Aghanim Scepter. We have seen it happen, though.
That's, I mean, I hope that's not the game plan here, because
I mean,
that
it's
sounds
been
suicidal.
Taisu's run it, so it doesn't say a lot. But I think the aggressive tri-lane idea from your side was a really good one. Not sure why they didn't run it.
Ouch.
I think that's a bit of a
Kudasai.
mistake from him.
It's gonna eat a whole battery assault here. Forced to use the telekinesis to throw Lumic a little further behind. But to start things off, it's a fairly peaceful starting for both sides. It's Execration with a very minor net worth lead going in their favor. Top lane is essentially a 2 versus 2 scenario with... I think if the Clockwork rotates in here, they should be able to score a kill on the Pudge. But for now, scoring kills on the Morphling is next to impossible. All he's got to do is waveform and run if he gets cogged in.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this Morphling build is really slow, though. He's not gonna have too much farm. If they manage the creep equilibrium, he shouldn't be able to even approach the wave, technically. But the Oracle is a little bit busy with the farming and stacking. And already the Pudge has rotated in on the lifestealer.
I mean, he's been here for a while, but he can't do anything up until he gets level 2. But Lifestealer doesn't have rage. They're probably unsure of this right now, so they're not making
Yeah,
the
they
play.
don't know that.
As for Lumic on the Clockwork, just hanging around, making sure that the camps stay blocked. Preventing the pulls
think-
happening on this bottom lane, allowing that Queen of Pain to keep farming in the face of the Razor and the Rubik.
Why does the Razor have 3 creeps in 2 minutes? That seems a little bit odd to me. And it's not like the Queen of Pain has denied that many.
He's being a pest though.
He's just missing all his right clicks.
It is fairly annoying to play Razor. His last hit animation is terrible, but yeah, it should not be this bad. He's
But
got just 5
yeah.
CS in 2 minutes on the safe lane.
And I think Clockwork and Queen of Pain are putting a decent amount of pressure on Rubik as well. Just the Shadow Strike Harris and him chasing him down with things like the Cog has been putting a lot of pressure on this Rubik here. While Oracle is at a much better time, I would say. Has he made any stacks up? But no, he dewatered the camp and now he's trying to pull.
Yeah, he should get the pull off successfully. No, okay, he got the stack as well, so that creep wave is definitely getting denied over there. Ling is almost at level 2, which is when he starts to be a real threat for this Tinker. He's hanging around in the middle lane.
James is hanging around in the mid lane, really low. He's slightly a little short from his bottle, so this might be a risky play that doesn't work out for him, I think.
Yeah, he's just playing it safe though. He's just gonna hang back and wait. That courier has been heading up top as well, so he couldn't call a salve out if he wanted it. Meanwhile, at bottom, Lumik trying to pull out the creep wave, but Kudasai was there to stop that pull. But he could be punished with it. He's got the cogs coming out. There's a bit of damage being stolen by my pro, but look at the damage that's already been done. He walked into the cogs twice. What the heck was that? Because of that, he's probably going to end up dying. Raging Potato, he blinks into a compromising slot and now gets hooked further to the tower on the back of Link's rotation. Raging Potato will end up going down here. He's getting chased down by the rot and has another 4 seconds till he can blink out. Pops the stick charges, tries to juke, but doesn't get too far. Ling will score first blood, and really, I think O2 Esports was just blessed over there. My pro walked into the cogs twice and deserved to die.
Definitely. I mean, Queen of Pain tried her level best. She played it absolutely perfectly, even blinked in at the right spot, but just got juked at the last right click. So, yeah, sure, she dies, but that's pretty impressive stuff coming out. Honestly, they've actually put a decent amount of pressure on the Razor, so it's okay even if she dies.
Well, for now, Ling is gonna stay bottom for a little longer, just hoping to get some EXP to get another point in that rot. He's got his boots online as well, so running down the Quap may be a possibility, but as I say that, I look at her and she's got her own boots as well. For now though, it is the Lifestealer that's been having a ball of a time here. He's at 33 CS versus just the 8 on NJ.
I still think that Lina can seize the momentum here at any given time. And then Execution, they'll have to play a little bit carefully. The Tinker can't be that safe and Lina picks up the Shadow Blade.
Kurasai in trouble here, gonna get hit with the false promise. Oh sorry, the Fortune's End. That should hold him in position. James throws him back. The LSA misses on the Clockwork, and with that they'll get the kill on Kurasai. Well,
nice bit of LSA dodge by James on the Tinker. Just moving back the quick step back, preventing the light strike from landing on it.
And lo and behold, they've got the shrine available as well, so no base strip required for Lumik.
And just efficient plays coming out from them have pushed the network lead over a K. Sure, it's not a lot, but at 6 minutes in, with the score being 1-1, I think it's pretty decent.
Is under attack.
Ling is trying to line up the hook here on this middle lane, but James is just gonna move top and pick up a regen rune for himself. He's still not level 6 and may not even put that level 6 point into the rearm though.
So Lifesteal is queuing up a Midas. Do you think this is the right choice? I think a quick armlet is pretty good. You come online with the Queen of Pain.
I can agree with the Midas because Lifesteal is one of those heroes that for the first few levels does just a bit more damage as he levels up. So Feast is based on a percentage of max HP. The more levels you get in it, the more damage you do.
Hook in the mid lane, James, he's been caught. Yeah.
Rip. Meanwhile, top lane, like I was saying, Nando, he's still just busy pulling out NJ with simply the phase boots. Oh, he used up his mana. This could be bad for NJ. He might just go down here. Did have the Soul Ring available though, so the regen kicked in and he did get a waveform.
Did he just infest in and infest out hoping to get the kill?
Yeah, I think he was trying to do that pure magic damage to other.
I mean, he'd already waveformed out, so I'm not really sure what he was trying. And Shrine available for the Morphling, so back in lane while the Lifestealer not really fully equipped to take another fight.
Yeah, but he shouldn't really die. He's got the rage available even if they jump him. Meanwhile, at bottom, Kudasai is in trouble. Queen jumps forward, screams and gets the kill. Now MyPro has enough time to steal damage from Raging Potato. Needs to get the hits in. Blink is not available for 9 seconds and he will pay for that with his life. That's a trade in favor of O2 Esports. They end up getting the kill on the Quap while giving up their own Rubik. Back at mid though, you've got Lumic now coming in. Ling is okay.
I still find it hard that Execration will have to take these mid-game fights without a real initiator. I mean, if the hook misses, they're actually down.
He's in trouble here. He's been hit with the Fortune's End and doesn't have a waveform to get out of this now. He should be going down here. It ought to be Nando that gets the kill. Never mind that. Purifying Flames will seal the deal. While bottom, it looks like Ling scores a kill on Lumic. In the overall scheme of things, I still think that works out for Execration. Scoring a kill on the core Morphling is a lot more important than losing your Clockwork.
Yeah, and as long as the Tinker is farming, there are a decent amount of stacks for him as well. I think he stacked them himself. He should be hitting a decent BOT mark. And it's not like they have really great wave clear side of O2 Esports. Dina is great, but Razor, Pudge, Rubik, not so much.
Yamate. Looks like he is building in towards a 4-star as his first item, his defensive item of choice up against that Clockwork. While Raging Potato, we are looking at a Veil of Discord coming out from him. It's a fairly slow start for a Queen of Pain, given that she was in the off lane and not in the mid. But they're going to try and change that Execration with smokes coming in. Moving towards the bottom lane.
I also think that when you're playing an off lane Queen of Pain, when you don't have a bottle, it changes you have to change the way you play. You can't play the same, even if you go for the same item bit.
Oh, Yamate. Caught between a rock and a hard place here. Cogged up. Hit with the Fortune's End. Hit with the laser and the rocket. He stays alive for now. Pops his wand charges and does have the infused raindrops, but all for naught as he does end up going down.
Yeah, great gank from and James has picked up his BOT before Lina really has any items. So next time when the Clockwork reaches the Clockwork is actually really far. Unfortunate. I thought with the Clockwork and Tinker it would be an easy kill.
Clock is hoping to get some stacks going in the jungle, but
I mean, he has a Tomb of Knowledge, but again, as we discovered yesterday, there's a bug with the timer. I can't really see it.
Bottom lane, Mypro, unable to steal any damage from the Quap here. She's just the perfect way to deal with a safe lane Razor. But they're going to return the favor with a smoke of their own O2 Esports, with Yamate and Kurasai leading the charge. They need to start off with the lift if they want to score a kill successfully. But Lumic, they don't want to find Lumic again. They want to kill on Raging Potato. But they're going to go up to the shrine again where they have that ward. Raging Potato, his movements are being pinged out. This is 4 heroes moving towards the bottom lane. They will find Lumic and they will blow him up. Laguna Blade still not being committed. Now he finally commits it. But that's not the ideal target on the back of a smoke rotation. It's something, but you'd rather not. You'd rather get the kill on the Queen of Pain or any of the cores on the side of Execration.
Yeah, and right now the he has his Midas running.
They got the hook off, and James is gonna die for that. So now it works out for them. They got a core as well as the support.
Yeah, this is the Tinker who just wants to farm his Soul Ring and Blink, but going in too deep for no reason. He still has stacks, I believe, in the jungle. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see why he's not farming those.
I guess it's maybe it's because his march isn't maxed out just yet, but he didn't quite go in deep there. He actually got hooked from the lane on the back of an observer ward that was placed down, and they know that the observer was there now. They've dewarded it. It is Infest Bomb time. Lifestealer is sitting inside the Queen of Pain's belly, and they're looking to score a kill on Mypro, but Mypro has his spidey senses tingling as he backs out.
Yeah, and on the other side, there is a smoke rotation coming in from the Pudge. He's been pretty decent with the hooks, and they haven't really spotted him yet.
Ooh.
Oh! Goes between the two.
Actually went under his skirt or whatever that thing is behind there.
Cloak? Is it a cloak?
Cloak? It's like a scroll. This thing is ignoring the laws of physics. Look how it's always rolled up towards the end.
Yeah, because that's the most unbelievable thing about the world here.
And Jay has a TP though. He can bail from this. But we'll have to pan our attention elsewhere because you've got the Queen of Pain that's been caught up. The hook doesn't find the mark. Raging Potato's fine for now, while NJ is going to TP out to safety. They do stem the bleeding on the side of O2 Esports.
Dire structures are
Yeah, but all this while Yamate has been beating down on the mid tower, and I think finally he will be able to get it. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, maybe not. He's gonna pay for this with his life. It even gets denied by the Oracle. That's just salt into his wounds.
Just being that, just waiting that extra second to be greedy, waiting out that fortification, gets ganked by the block as soon as he reaches it.
It's kind
That
of...
has got to hurt.
It is actually quite unbelievable that Oracle got that deny considering the piss poor base damage this hero has.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Tinko's about to go down for a second time, but Pudge off the mark on that hook there. How's NJ looking on the off lane? He's picked up a soul ring. He has tranquil. Yeah, this seems to be the build which I said is to go. Oh, he's going for Yules next. Is that for the clock form? Or maybe it's to cancel the TP. I mean, he has stun to work with, so.
Looking back at bottom though, MyPro, he's almost got his Dragonlance online. So that's a fair bit of damage and HP coming out for him. And it also gives them a tool to try and start taking down towers as a unit. Nando on the top lane though, with his Midas online, he still dishes out a fair bit of damage, and his armlet isn't too far off either. There's 3 heroes here on the side of O2 Esports. There's a second hero coming in for Execration, NJ, with the stun to start things off. Well, bottom lane they've actually gone on Lumic. Lumic's gonna be the one to go down there. MyPro gets the kill, while top lane Nando by himself is enough to zone out the Morphling. There's the stun to start things off. They have the lift, they get it off as well, but then they've disarmed him and thrown the Fate's Edict, making him immune to magic damage. He walks forward, the Fortune's End catches 2 Raging Potatoes in the fray, fires off with the Sonic Wave, gets the kill on Yamate. While NJ is going to be forcing himself out of here. Doesn't have another waveform, but does have a soul ring. Turns around with the adaptive strike. MyPro steals away Nando's damage. James with the rockets will end up getting the kill on NJ behind. While he's still going to work on MyPro. Nando's giving chase, but doesn't have any damage to work with. It's going to have to be Raging Potato that scores this kill, while Nando just applies the slows. And indeed, it will be the case with MyPro going down. Nando might go down with him, but he survives. Execration with a clear victory in that skirmish, getting 3 kills and possibly even a tier 1 tower now.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why the Razor TP'd in so late. I think an earlier rotation from him might have been, could have resulted in some kills for their side, but he's slightly late on that TP there, I feel.
Dire's bottom tower.
Well, that puts Execration in the driver's seat again now, and with that, you've also got the full armlet finished up on Nando.
Armlet, and he's gunning for an SNY's full mid-game items coming out from the lifestealer here, and with the co-ops Veil of Discord, I think they'll have a lot of firepower in the mid-game.
I like the SNY here. I mean, it is the ideal choice for the lifestealer because you're playing up against a Razor. You want to stay the hell away from his static link. Yamate.
Tinker, he died a few times. He's still away a few hundred gold. Just about 100 gold away from his Blink Dagger, but I think once that comes online as well, the game is going to get a little hard. I mean, Pudge had a decent early game, I would say, but he's not managed to do anything in the last 4 or 5
Well, I think it's gonna boil down to whether or not they can use the Pudge as a deterrent to that Tinker, right? Because that last pick Tinker kind of threw them off guard. They don't really have any sort of you don't have a Storm, you don't have a Clockwork, you don't have a Night Stalker with the Flying Vision. You're gonna have to rely on things like blind hooks to actually pick him out of the trees. And again, it boils down to the fact that this Blink Dagger on James it's such a valuable item this game, because there's no way to counter it. Maybe use the Razor Plasma Field to get some vision in the trees, but that essentially means that the Razor is gonna have to put himself at risk walking forward. Anyway, mid, you've got a smoke.
I mean,
3 of them moving towards Raging Potato. He's got the Arcane Rune, but the stolen Blink from Kudasai secures the kill here. No expenses spared, along with the Dismember committed as well. That's a good pick off, though.
I mean, Dismember doesn't really have a long cooldown, so.
Dire's middle tower is under
That's the kind of pick off you want to
no
get with your Smoke of Deceit.
And still no co-op ulti in this game. I mean, she's had that Sonic Wave for a while, but she's already reached the 2nd level and she's not really used it. I mean, she used it once.
NJ hoping to find someone on the retreat here. Nando doesn't have the rage, but NJ is not willing to waveform in there for fear of who's standing behind. Meanwhile on top, Razor continues to push out. Is he trying to be the bait here? Ling Looking for the hook, but yeah, Raging Potato just careful about blinking out in time. So the full armlet is done on Nando. Desolator isn't too far off either. He's actually switched gears, by the way, so he's going Deso instead of the SNY. Not too worried about losing his damage, apparently.
I would have actually liked to see the SNY come out this game. It would have made sense to me.
It does. I mean, I can't really disagree with the Desolator as well, because there's so many ways to jump into the fight, right? With the Queen of Pain and the Clockwork in
I mean,
Fest
you gotta
bombs.
pick a side, right? But
Uh-oh, Nando, Invis here, right next to Yamate. He does have a 4-staff, so they're gonna need more backup for sure. They need to connect with this Clockwork's hook shot, but how long can they tailgate him? Now the Yamate's positioning has been given away like this. They're gonna go in anyway. Nando forces out the 4-staff. James blinks in on the front lines, and they snipe him under the tier 1 tower, which they will now take.
yeah, Night Stalker just tailgating him till the very, very end there. And
You call him Night Stalker, bro. He's Life Stealer.
sorry, life stealer, my bad.
That identity crisis. Anyway, there's the hook. The false promise, keeping Raging Potato alive. He's healing him up as well along the way. The Sonic Wave clips onto 2. They'll get both those skills with the Pudge and the Razor going down. While you have an NJ actually waveforming down to the low ground. He hasn't gotten far enough out and will end up being brought down with James blinking in at the last moment. Execration with another devastating blow, setting the score at 14-8 in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a very gimmicky draft coming out from O2 Esports. They have a 4-position Pudge, they have an offlane Muffling. It's not very standard, and they're being punished for that.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
James continuously pushing out the top lane now, just applying as much pressure as he possibly can, while my pro has himself a Dragonlance along with the Staff of Wizardry picked up. His freaking Hurricane Pike is not going to add as much value as he would like in this game, given the amount of burst damage coming out on the side of Execration.
Yeah, I mean, Hurricane Pike, I mean, they're not even going on the Razor in the beginning. They just bring down the Pudge, they bring down the Rubik. And all the while, Lina's been zoned down on the backlines by the Clockwork. Yet to see Queen of Pain come in with a big ultimate.
We just did. She literally just got a 2-hero Sonic
I
Wave
don't think
there.
that was the one we want to.
I mean, if you're looking for a 5-man Sonic Wave, that's... I think you're giving Raging Potato a lot less credit than he's due.
Fair enough.
What's worrisome though is that Yamate hasn't really progressed in terms of items. He's heading for the
He's gonna pick
Bloodstone,
up this
but...
Bloodstone.
Sorry,
No, he's picking up the
Bloodstone, my bad,
Bloodstone.
yeah. But it's still so far away, it's gonna take a while before he actually gets it online, and even with the
I feel this is
Bloodstone...
a game where he dies a fair amount of times. Even if he does well, I feel it's a game where he dies, so I don't know if Bloodstone is the best I can get here. Would rather have seen a Shadow Blade coming out.
We've got a blink on NJ, by the way, so they have a fair bit of initiation coming out, and assuming that he does stay in strength morph, he's also going to be fairly tanky going into these fights. And there goes Raging Potato with a lifesteal on his belly, and that's where the Desolator really shines, man. You jump in, you blow up the Razor before he can actually seal any damage, and you don't need to kite around them anymore.
Yeah, that was a really quick kill coming out from Execration there. No chance. And they were using the Razor as bait as well, because I did spot around 3 heroes around, I mean, in the fog around them.
So what they were essentially trying is with this Tinker ward and Morphling standing around there, they were hoping that Tinker comes in to try and counter push. Turns out Queen of Pain comes in with a lifestealer instead.
I think it's too early in the game to start putting out Tinker wards. If you're so scared of him at this point,
Middle tower is under attack.
I mean, just imagine when he comes with a little bit of damage. I believe he's going with the Dagon or the maybe it's Atlan Scepter.
Yeah, he's already got the
That's
Athalan, so maybe an Aghanim Scepter up next.
Yeah.
Well,
And like
DD
we
now
mentioned,
picked up as well on Nando, so they're just gonna head straight into the pit and get themselves an Aegis. It's gonna be a really quick rush, and there's nothing that O2 Esports can really do to contest it.
Yeah, and I think Execration are at a point where they feel comfortable to take these fights, so I don't see why they should feel shy about going up to this tower. So he's gonna go back for the
Dire's
SNY, it
middle
looks like,
tower
after the
is under
Desolator.
attack.
Sure, fair enough. I mean, he's got the damage now. You might as well get the mobility.
I think it's just better to run a straight assault at this point. There's a
I
lot of
mean,
value this game.
I don't think he needs that much more damage anyway. They're just blowing up heroes the moment he lays his claws into him. There's no real way for any of the heroes that are caught out by that Queen of Pain blinking to get out of there. You got the 4-star on my pro, but it's probably going to be backed up with... I mean, the Queen's jump is probably going to be backed up with a hook shot anyway. And within this, the hook shot stun duration with a simple Desolator and an armlet, that's enough to blow up anyone. There we go. They jump in, they start going to work. Tinker joins the fray and my pro is down. Ling is going to follow him to the grave as well. Just insane amounts of burst damage coming out from this duo.
Dire's bottom
So
tower
correct me if
is
I'm
under
wrong, there's
attack.
one more BO1 before we head into BO3. Semi-finals of BO3s, right?
Yeah. At least that's how the format used to be. I'm gonna get a tier 2 at top with Nando beating up on it. Maybe even the tier 2 at mid with James pushing in through the lane.
Dire's bottom tower is
They
under attack.
did end up pushing out the bottom lane a little bit. I mean, they're doing some chip damage on the Dire tier 2, but I don't think Execration cares about it at this point.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, I just quickly all tap to check if any of the other matches are over. Doesn't look like it. So we're still awaiting first victor from the round 16. Clockwork looks slightly underfarmed. Oops. He has a 4-star in his inventory. My bad.
Yeah, no one's underfarmed right now. They have a good 15,000 net worth and EXP lead going in their favor. Or 13,000 net worth going in their favor. But O2 are just backed into a corner here. They're grouping up like they want to smoke. They did smoke inside their own base now. Hoping for the Tinker to come so far out and push out this top lane. But this is not happening.
I honestly feel that Odu have put themselves in this position with this draft here. I mean, look at the Morphling. He's picked up a blink, but they're picking off heroes so fast that he can't really jump in. And with the maxed out March of machines, there's no real scope for the Morphling to get multiple stuns off him.
James is trying to dodge a bullet here. He's actually blinked further back towards Yamate and Co. He will TP out and the smokes will also break. Doesn't get any more annoying than this for O2 Esports. You know, I'll have a look at Raging Potato. He's fishing. Blink's out there. My pro is still there. I think he saw him. They did ping this out.
Yeah. Razor is really underfarmed at this point, just as a Hurricane Pike to work with. And this is the problem with heroes like the Razor and the Viper. I mean, Razor is still better than the Viper, but pretty slow farmer by other carry standards.
O2 trying to push out the top lane as much as they can before the push comes in on their own tower. They've still got the Aegis in tow on Nando, so he is going to be
Dire's top tower is under
fairly hard to bring down once, let alone twice.
tower is under attack.
And one thing I'll say about this draft coming in from Execration is that
Radiant structures are
they've picked up a Lifestealer when no one else is picking up Lifestealers other than EG anymore. And
Oh, they got
they've
James!
opted-
He TP'd in, Ling was waiting with the hook at the ready and they will blow up the Tinker this time around. That's a good 696 gold going in favor of Yamate. However, NJ, he's got to get himself out of here now. He has 4-star, or rather he has waveformed into the trees, gets brought down by Nando anyway. While Lina's been caught
They've
out
got the Lina ahead
behind,
as well.
they need some sort of lockdown on her. They don't have enough damage to bring her down. That's actually not too shabby coming out from O2 Esports. Getting the kill on the Tinker and preventing an Aegis push from coming onto your higher ground, it really gives them a fresh breath of life now.
I also think it was still okay for Execration. They got a kill on an offlaner, picked up the bottom tower as well, and they defended their own, so I think it's pretty okay. And the Tinker has his Aghanim Scepter now, so
He had it in the last
sieging will be
fight
that
as
much.
well, so...
He did?
None is
No, last we spoke of the Tinker was when he had that kill.
No, he picked it up a little while after that and decided to TP up top.
Okay, so when they do go high ground, the sieging ability is very respectable here.
Well, there goes the Aegis for Nando. He's probably going to go for the assault next. He does have it queued up in his inventory. Any smokes available? Looks like Lumic does have one, so they could still make a play without that Aegis and then try and break some buildings.
Yes, the supports here are really poor coming out from O2 Esports. Like the Rubik has really no items whatsoever. He's queued up 4 stuff, but
The Pudge
it's
seems
been
to be
really
doing
hard
alright
to
though. He's got his own 4 staff already online with an urn as well as the basic Tramco boots. But bottom, they've given Razor's Illusion hell.
I mean, they have the right idea with the 4 stars that they can kite the life stealer, but the kills have been coming in so quickly from Execration that practically it's not really worked out like that.
Yeah, it's still going to be Tinker that's the real force to be reckoned with in this game. In those team fights with the Tinker just standing behind, firing off rockets and lasers one after the other, you really have to find some way to jump past the enemy lines and shut him down. If the Morphling jumps past and gets the stun, all he's really going to do is stop him for a little while, but he doesn't have enough firepower to score the kill himself, and there's no real way for anyone else to get close.
Yeah, and I feel like, I mean, this is a trait we see in SEA teams, which is they find comfort in farming, that they've been really conservative with their movement of the co-op and the infest. So, I mean, if they used it a little bit more, because it was off cooldown for a long time, I think they could have achieved some greater results here.
Raging Potato looking for a pick off in the jungle, but will find nothing as everyone on the side of O2 is at the bottom lane. There's Illusions and Morphling sitting up top. Well, another Illusions that's going to be hanging around in the jungle. It will be used to bait out Raging Potato's blink forward, and again, Execration, they've given up their positions while having to contest with a lane of creeps pushing into their tier 3s on the top lane. O2 are doing a good job of buying time here. They're just dodging the bullets that Execration are firing and staying in this game for as long as they possibly can till they can make a slightly successful high ground defense. Yamate meanwhile forced to use the Shadow Blade, just barely sidesteps the hook shot, but is still being chased here. They've got the duels to send him up into the air. They've got the Lifestealer coming out, the silence as well. Instant suicide is on the menu for him.
And no 2 players coming in to save their buddy there. I thought they could really kind of go in on that.
I think that was the right call because you don't want to fight 5v5 on the low ground.
You could have tried a hook at least. I didn't even see Pudge angling in for one.
Well, Pudge hoping to get Lifestealer behind enemy lines there with that hook.
Radiant's middle tower has
But
fallen.
again, this
I
is
think
where
with
the
Pudge on
clockwork... The clockwork really adds value, right? With the rocket flares constantly spotting out the Pudge's
Definitely.
positioning.
Definitely. I mean, it's not been a bad game for the Oracle at all as well. He has a mech and arcane boost running. So.
We've got this.
Gem already online on Raging Potato, and they've queued up an infest bomb again.
We've also got this trifecta of wards towards the middle and top lanes. So they're watching every movement in and around the secret shop while they try to siege mid and top, but bottom meanwhile is being pushed out. NJ doing what Morphling does best, split pushing to the best of his abilities, even though he doesn't really have a split push oriented build on himself.
Yeah, but I mean, this is not really working against a team which has Tinker.
They're buying time. That's what they need to do right now. Just keep buying time till they can get some more items
honestly,
online.
I think that Execution don't really want to push up against a Pudge without the Aegis. Once they have the Aegis, they should complete up the assault by then as well. And it's just going to be the Lifestealer who goes up on the racks and on the tower and the racks and hits them.
Worthy tribute.
I mean, you can steal damage from him once maybe, but it's still not going to be enough. And they have a 4-star as well.
Ooh, they might just find someone here. They've got the hook shot. No, they don't. They're going to blink forward. Raging Potato still unable to lock down a target. Those 4 staffs allowing O2 to kite around the battlefield. I feel like O2 are actually holding on here. It isn't as much of a domination as it was from Execration just a few minutes ago. They dodged a lot of ganks in the downtime that the Roshan was respawning, and they might even find one of their own. Tinker caught out. Can they cancel his blink dagger here? Bit by bit they're hitting him. Here comes Yamate. Does have the LSA. Oh, he misses!
Wow. Wow moment. A real wow moment. That was off by a fraction of inches. Fraction second, my bad.
Well,
And they've
Nando,
spotted out as well.
he's having a hard time versus Roshan himself. He can't quite take him down by himself here. Feast does not work versus Roshan, so he has to rely on the open wounds to keep himself healthy through this.
And I mean, last time he had a DD, so this is slightly easier. But
But hey, they get the Aegis anyway, and O2 are now going to have to deal with a high ground push with a life
where
stealer
is
with
the
2
assault,
lives. He chose to go for the S and Y.
no, I mean, he queued it up after the SNY.
Yeah, he's queued it up again now.
He's shifting between a Link and an assault, so I'm really confused. Here.
I don't think a Lincoln is terrible actually. It does add value versus...
He picked up the chainmail and the rest.
But then again, there's just so many
Decision.
single target spells to cancel the Lincoln, so...
Yeah. I mean, if he can cancel the static link and get 5 more right clicks on the tower, I think that's more than enough. It warrants enough attention, I feel.
What is O2
But then Assault is
really
gonna
got up
really-
their sleeves here? How are they gonna... How the hell do they plan to defend this? Because the way I see it, Queen of Pain just has to take the parcel along with her and jump the life sealer. The moment they lock down the life sealer and bring him down, it's over. Unless we see like 3-4 staffs on him, on the Razor, sorry. 3-4 staffs on the Razor to get out of there. And then they kite around the life sealer. That could work. But then you've got to worry about a Tinker who's just going to constantly be bombarding you with marches and rockets.
He's very deep into the enemy side.
NJ.
Morphling is stalking him, but no. He didn't really cancel that TP though.
He would have died
He
if
was a
he
little
tried.
scared of the back. He had a Yules and he has. Probably wouldn't have died, but he wouldn't have got the kill either. So Blink, Yules, 4 stuff. Pure mobility morphling.
Razor has picked up a BKB though, so he does have some sort of defense. Meanwhile, they're going for the life stealer. They pull him further back away from the creeps. They will bring him down once, so the Aegis is out of question here for Execration. Telling you, man, O2 are doing it. I'm getting this vibe that they're actually going to hold the high ground once successfully, and then they're going to come online in a jiffy. Execration are spooked as well.
Yeah, that was some weird bit of play coming from the life stealer. Farming so ahead in the lane while his team was not there to help him out. Gives away a free Aegis to the other side. Who has the cheese though? What's the second option? Queen of Pain doesn't have it.
It's Nando, he's holding on to it.
Nando.
He wants to infest into the co-op apparently.
Yeah.
But they're wasting no more time. Looks like they are grouping up for this push on the bottom lane with top already pushed out. Nando, all he's really got to do is rage, get a few hits off, and back away. Rinse and repeat.
The same thing would have been much better with the Aegis at hand.
Exactly.
But they don't have it because of a mistake, and I think it's slightly risky to do this now.
Ooh, he almost got the Tinker there with that hook. That would have been devastating. The stun comes out on Nando. The follow-up stuns are there as well. They're blowing him up, but they've got the false promise to keep him alive. Execration having a hard time pushing high ground here.
Yeah, this is not easy without the Aegis, I feel. Sure, he has an assault, but I mean, O2 aren't really committing that heavily. They're just beating him down with the right clicks. They aren't committing the Lina ultimate or something like that, where Lifestealer can insta-pop his cheese and get back into the fight. So
They're still going forward. They really do want to get this tower right now by the looks of it. Raging Potato comes back after just applying a little bit of momentum towards the middle lane, but they can't push just yet. Tinker's headed himself up top.
I think at this point, maybe Leomic has to go in a little aggressively onto one of the cores behind. But the problem is he doesn't have the gem. I mean, he has a dust, but it's still really hard to find the Lina in this.
You've almost got a BKB finished up on the Lina as well, so they're definitely getting the needed tools to deal with James and his Tinker. And they've already got the 4 stars to deal with the Lifestealer. It's probably that point in the game where he looks for an Abyssal Blade of his own as opposed to that Lincoln Sphere. They already have 1 Lincolns on Raging Potato though. They've been throwing it out on Nando every now and then when he goes high ground. And here we go again. Oh, he almost got pulled into the trees there. That could have been devastating for them. Rockets, lasers, March of the Machines all being spammed out here. The lift is there, but the false promise is there as well, along with the Yules. Squap will stay back. Perhaps they wait another 60 seconds to get the false promise online before pushing up again. But they've done a fair bit of damage on the tower.
It's been slow, but it's been methodical coming out from Execution. And they have a decent gold lead to work with as well. They don't want to give anything away here.
Nando again going in. The creeps just barely spawning as Nando was about to get hooked there, but he's now losing damage. There's the stuns coming out. Queen of Pain stunned up again, gets the disarm along with the Fate Seed Icona. She does survive, sends herself up into the air. Nando pops out of his belly, throws down the Sonic Wave. A stolen rage from Kudasai. He's still gonna go down while the gem has been dropped inside the base. Raging Potato is on a killing spree, but his killing spree was ended while Nando consumes the cheese and starts to make a run for it, while Lumic has the cogs to block off this chase. NJ is gonna be cogged in, but Waveform's immediately out while the Plasma Field is there as well. You've got a buyback coming out from the Rubik. He's TP'd out to the shrine and is coming in from behind. There's the blink out from James, and Kudasai is not gonna be able to catch him just yet. He TP's out in the nick of time as Lumic gets left for dead here. Stunned up by NJ and followed up by the rest of the O2 cavalry. Yamate getting himself another Bloodstone charge. In my books, that counts as a successful high ground defense despite them losing that tier 3 tower.
It definitely does. They lose a shrine for it, but I think at this point, they'll take this. I mean, I don't know what to say. The Life Stealer without the Aegis has been really hard for him. And the co-op gets jumped on and can't really pop her spells really effectively. She threw out a Sonic Wave, but it was very, very pathetic. So...
with that...
They don't have any defensive supports as well. I mean, with the Oracle's ultimate being down, they can't really do anything.
So Yamate is going for the Aghanim Scepter, by the way. That's the tool that they need to blow through that Life Sealer. Even if he has that magic immunity.
I think Heart would have been a decent choice for Life Stealer. For the slow sieging type of play that they're trying to do.
Maybe a Lincoln's is actually not bad if you're trying to siege, but the problem is he's getting kited now, so in that case an Abyssal Blade might have helped, but again, Abyssal isn't as effective versus multiple 4-staffs on the side of O2. What else are O2 getting? Are they still looking for mobility? They've already got 3 4-staffs and a Hurricane Pike. They've got Shadow Blades, Yules, Blink Daggers, BKBs. MyPro is now just stacking up some armor for himself with the Shiver's Guard coming out next. It's really appalling that O2 Esports are holding on to their high ground despite being 20k net worth behind.
Absolutely.
I'd say it's impressive.
And it's off. More fuel for my fire.
Mate probably doesn't want to go and finish up that Silver Edge this game. No real passives to be disabled here. But the break isn't bad versus the Life Stealer.
So Tinker has picked up the Bloodstone. Did he go for it before the Hex? Because I've not seen the debut of the Hex yet. And there are no charges on the Bloodstone.
I'm not too sure either. I didn't quite catch that.
So he's just farmed up these 2 items without participating in fights. That's probably what has sealed the fate. I mean, he was on the top lane when they jumped in on the pop. And 5 seconds, it's a 5-second stun, right, with the adaptive strike. 4.2 wide. That's a pretty decent amount on the co-op, especially when she's thrown her Lincolns onto the Life Stealer there.
Yeah, there's also the fact that the adaptive strike has a fairly low cooldown as well, so
yeah,
it's one of the better ways to trigger those Lincolns.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to start needing items like the Lotus Orb on the side of Execration. Throw Lotus Orb on Nando along with the Lincolns on him. He's already got a Lincolns of his own, and then try and siege those buildings. But O2 Esports, they've smoked up and they're standing right next to MyPro, trying to use him as bait, even using a scan near the shrine to spot out possible locations while checking the Rosh pit. Whether or not he's respawned, now they know where he is. Yamate walks forward with the Invis expended. They've got vision of them. The LSA doesn't quite come out. Lumic turns around with the hook shot, catches Yamate inside the invisibility. The laser refracts onto most of them. LSA comes out. Limit Cape drops. Sonic Wave catches 3. They blow up Kudasai while MyPro is on the run now. Nando is giving chase. They blink forward. They do get the Hex with the Tinker onto Razor while Pudge is going to go down on the back lines. Nando now chasing MyPro. He hasn't really stolen any damage from him, but he forces to the high ground and TPs out with his BKB, minimizing their losses, making it just the two supports going down on the side of O2 Esports.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that was the best O2 could do. They really escaped well with their heroes, especially the Razor there.
They're gonna have to defend bottom now though, and Yamate, he actually picked up a Demon Head, so they're going for some physical damage on him as opposed to the Dragonum Scepter. Nando trying to break through back to regen, but this seems like a terrible idea. Never mind that. Back to regen is now worn off with the creeps entering from the middle lane. Hex comes out on the front lines. NG has been sent back, backing into the fountain, while Lumic actually hook shots onto his ally. They get the barracks nonetheless, and they're gonna move towards the middle lane when Nando has already started beating up on it.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about how the network lead wasn't looking like that much, but I think the Hex pickup on the Tinker has a different tale. It's been an item which is clearly differentiating these fights now. They really have no answer for it here.
Well, O2 finally get themselves, or rather, Execration gets themselves a lane of barracks here. O2 are now going to pop a smoke and try and find some pickoffs to create some space on this map, especially now that Roshan has respawned. If they can pick off Nando here in the pit by himself, this will be a huge victory coming out from Ling. They miss on the hook though. Nando turns tail and runs with the phase boots and the SNY movement speed. Now infested into Raging Potato. He sees him, he silences him, he whips out the Life Stealer. Yamate pops the BKB, the Rage is popped from Nando. The Lincolns gets triggered from a Dismember while the hook shot comes in on the Pudge. MyPro stealing damage away from the Life Stealer while running forward onto the Oracle, who pops a Glimmer Cape and turns and runs. They're kiting the Razor as opposed to the Razor kiting them. Lumic is now chasing a BKB Razor. Yamate denied himself elsewhere while MyPro TPs out on the backlines. James is just firing rockets and lasers, killing off Kuda-sized Rubik, while Raging Potato wants the kill on Ling, but Ling is up on the high ground as he TPs out. Again, O2 Esports will minimize their losses, but this time it's just not enough as Nando's gone back to bringing down Roshan.
Yeah, I think at this point O2 have no business fighting outside their base. They really can't. And they need to start off with hooks. They can't really start off with the Lina shadow bleeding in. That's not really a real scenario anymore.
Well, at bottom meanwhile, O2 just getting whatever little money they can before the next fight breaks out. Looks like the Radiant Courier died as well. Unfortunately, not sure whether or not that Courier had any items on it.
Yeah, so did they buy a new gem? Or no, I think they picked it up back from Pudge maybe. They do have the Aegis now. They went for the Roshan, right?
Yeah. Who's the one holding on?
It's not a life stealer.
It's on the Tinker.
Oh, it's on the Tinker.
Yep, and the cheese is on Lumic's Clockwork.
I think the Aegis would have been better than keeping a Desolator at this point.
Nah, I disagree. I think you need that Desolator. Armor reduction is good versus buildings as well. I mean, Deso is one of his primary sources of damage. Without it, he doesn't hit nearly as hard. Nando starts doing some damage there. Meanwhile, on the other side, they've actually jumped in. The Hexes start coming out. They've got Morphling trapped up and brought down. Has a buyback. Commits it immediately while MyPro, he's stealing a lot of damage here in this fight from the Tinker. They've got a fair bit of damage to dish out here, but Nando and co are still hale and hearty while Lumic is walking forward with a false promise. He actually survives through it all. While they bring down NJ, the Sonic Wave whiffs entirely. But it doesn't really matter because the rest of his teammates are just bringing down buildings while James cleans up in the fountain. GG is the call. O2 Esports' journey in the qualifier number 1 for TI7 has ended, and Execration will move on to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I mean, too many cores for the side of O2 Esports to deal with here. The Tinker coming online, the Queen of Pain coming online, the Lifestealer coming online, and offlane Morphling not really equipped to deal with that. Kind of blame their draft for their loss here because they did play pretty well.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's just the draft that was at fault here. Execration did play some good Dota as well. O2 did show some signs of life while defending the high ground, but it just wasn't meant to be. Execration were the better team today and will move on to the quarterfinals. Any idea who they're playing next though?
No, I don't think the game is over, but it's between WG and Indian Mongols, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's going to be a good game. Alright guys,
Yeah, that
stay
should be
with
a good
us.
game.
We will be back with the next game as soon as the lobby goes live. For now, we're just going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we should have the first quarterfinal match for the TI7 SEA Open Qualifiers. I'm CloudX, with me was Gambit. Hope you guys have had a blast. Any and all feedback is most welcome, and don't forget to follow and subscribe if you're watching on Twitch or YouTube respectively. See you guys in just a bit. Lobby's up, Gambit. Oh, you should probably leave the lobby and then come back.
I'm back in the game. I was a little bit too quick for you.
Ninja.
You're getting slow. Getting old actually.
Such is life.
True that.
Actually, I just ate a whole bowl of mutton curry and rice, so
Feeling
feels
young
sluggish. No man, I feel sluggish. I actually feel like a retired citizen now.
A lot of casters in the
Oh yeah, wow, that's a lot of casters. Russians,
Two
Thai.
Russians, USA, Australia, India.
Modi would be proud.
Make in India. So this is the quarterfinals. Yeah, this is the quarterfinals. Oh, this is the first matchup as well. The other matches haven't been decided.
Yep, still best of ones though.
Ooh, a little bit upset that IQ Dota lost. I was doing some work or some research on them and it kind of impressed me.
K trying to survive with a BK.
Wait, Net joined WG Unity?
Yeah, I was speaking about it yesterday. There was that confusion between him and Happy Feet, I believe, or Geek Fam.
Geek fam.
Geek Fam, and then they replaced him, and they didn't replace him, and eventually he left. There was a full khichdi which happened there.
Professional esports boys. This happens not just in India.
So at this point, who do you think is the favorite team to make it to the regionals here?
I mean, we haven't watched enough, man, to be honest.
Take an educated guess.
Hold on, let me open up the brackets.
Okay, do you believe whoever wins this matchup is the most favored?
I need to look at the rest of the bracket. Give me a second. It's really hard to say, man. There's so many good teams in this one. But
I think I'm gonna say that whoever wins this matchup definitely is by far the most known, the most experienced team in the.
I mean, you can never count out Mughal either. That's Miracle's team. Miracle Chibi, Poloson Kai, and I think someone else. I don't know who.
But would you pick them over WG Unity or Execration, where players have gone to Valve events?
I don't really know how much that counts for, given how drastically the meta has changed since then.
Okay.
It's hard. It's really a tough call, to be honest. I mean, WG Unity are clearly the more practiced and tried and tested team. Execration also a team that's stuck together for a very, very long time. They're not just, a team that was made overnight for a tournament. So I probably would say that these two are the top contenders, more so with Execration than with WG Unity. But then there's some very high tier pub stars like those in Napo and those in Mughal. And then there's G7, which is also a team that's been playing together for a while now.
Honestly, I don't really think G7 is in the same league as Execration or WG Unity.
I don't know, man.
So, so you kind of mentioned that in this game you're kind of favoring WG Unity.
No, I think I'm actually
That's what it
favoring
sounds-
Execration. While their last game wasn't particularly impressive, I still think, it was the first game of the day. They're still finding their stride.
It's the Open Qualifiers, so I don't really think that you can do things like that.
Are there any other interesting matches happening, by the way, that we can jump
Over to, I think Napo version 2 and Hawk Cheese just started.
What is
Yeah,
Napo
but-
version 2 in Hawk G? Hey,
We
Mughals,
discussed a fair bit.
Mughals
fair bit
starting
of
their
Napo
match
game.
now. Do you want to do a Mughal game instead?
Sure, let's go move.
Let's watch some Miracle Dota, guys. Let's do that. Okay, so what you gotta do is you gotta leave this lobby, cancel spectate, and then jump into the next one. Oops, cancel spectate, leave lobby,
Already on it.
jump into Mughal. Thank you, bot.
So tell me one thing, how does Face It work other than Open Qualifiers? Do people play on it? Have you played on it?
I have played on it in the past, but I don't play on it too often. But I believe a fair few people do.
Is it better? I remember playing on it a few times, but the experience was pretty much the same. Didn't really make much sense.
I particularly didn't enjoy it because the quality of players was really bad. Like most of these games were just mega stomps.
So you're too good for them.
No, it's not that, man. It's just it's usually like the last time that I played, it was like a bunch of 1-2Ks that were just trying to farm face it points in this miniature tournaments and leagues. So
Okay, not really sure about that.
to be or not to be, that is TTOTT, by the way.
Shouldn't it be TB then? To be.
To T or not to T.
Okay, that's a tongue twister by itself.
No pressure is on Radiant. I like what this bot.
So there's Poloson, GBX, Sky.
This is the last best of one, huh? After this, it's
Semis, yeah, that's the best.
so I might actually have to put the stream down somewhere around 5 o'clock, 5:30. Funny reason actually, I can't hear anything from my left ear anymore.
What?
Yeah, I have no clue what happened.
Don't just casually mention stuff like that on stream. let me search that on Google. Let's see what you have.
No man, I already did it. Apparently it's cancer. Every time you search something on Google, oh I have an itch on my little toe. Oh yeah, for sure man, you've got like blood cancer or something.
You have too much wax, it says. Fucking clean your ears. That's what it says. That's what it freaking says.
Yeah, but I mean I thought it would go away in a couple of days. I tried cleaning my ears and all that jazz, but nothing happened.
Deafness doesn't go away. What are you saying?
I mean let the doctor decide that. That's not your job.
So go to one.
Yeah, I'm going man. I'll go later today.
Casually.
It's okay, I still have another
left
year.
ear isn't working. I still have one more. You're not a plane, dude. If one engine doesn't function, you just keep flying.
Yeah, it's damn strange, man. I woke up like 2 days ago and I'm like, something doesn't seem right. Do I have something stuck in my ear? So I took like a earbud and I tried cleaning it out and then nothing happened. Then the next day I woke up and I could hear even less from this ear. And today I practically can't hear anything from the left ear.
So what is our deal on the second qualifiers? Because I'm not here. So will you be handling it with some of maybe Vivek?
Oh, you're not
and if
here?
Crowley wants... I'm not here from tomorrow, right?
Damn. I guess I'll solo it then.
Maybe you can get Crowley or Vivek too.
Yeah, Vivek is dead. If Crowley's alive, I'll definitely pull him in.
Vivek is dead?
Yeah, he died.
Oh.
I'm so fed up of listening to the same music every single year. Unfortunately, Spotify doesn't work in India, at least
It's
not the
basically
legal way.
different versions of Alan Walker Faded.
No man, it's a playlist that has Faded in it. But it's the only stuff that's actually cleared for use on Twitch.
Yeah, copyright protects everyone.
Someone just asked what ISP does Entity Gaming use. You have any idea?
You?
Oh,
I think it's you.
You broadband? Maybe, yeah.
Maybe? Yeah.
Okay, game is live, folks. We're gonna be watching To Be or Not To Be
Dire team ban.
versus
Asking
Mughal.
real existential
Radiant
questions
team ban.
in the
Even-
afternoon here.
Heck, even the bots started throwing some philosophy our way today.
No pressure.
No pressure on the Radiant side.
Dire team
Anyway, folks, thank you for sticking around. We've actually switched over from the Execration game to here. There's actually a lot of other English streams happening for the Execration game, so you could probably find one of those. But if you like our sultry Indian voices, do stick around. on the Radiant side.
Dot, 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 dot.
Oh, Toto, to be or not to be? Lena will be the first pick coming out here, but we've got a Brazil and a Night Stalker banned from Moogle. Standard.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, I really haven't seen a lot of Moogle. I mean, I know Miracle is there. I know his signature heroes. He has a lot of them, but I really have no experience with to be or not to be on Moogle to really say anything.
So I have no idea who TT, OT, or to be or not to be are, but on the side of Moogle, this is a stack, or at least a couple of these players in this stack, they show up together every time there's an open qualifier, and unfortunately they just they fall short by a very small margin, and they don't really ever make it to the regional. So
I believe Miracle was in the Mineski side as well. There's no Mineski this time, or were they invited directly to?
Mineski were invited, if I'm not wrong.
Who plays for Mineski now? I'm gonna look it up while you run us through the draft.
So the legend of Miracle has started to fall here. I think he also had to do military service in Singapore, compulsory military service rather. So he was on a clock as far as his esports career was in the balance, and now he's back again. But I don't know if this is just a temporary comeback or if this is for good. But Earthshaker gonna be the first pick coming out from them. So whenever there's a Miracle squad, it's usually Miracle's hero that gets picked up last, and it's usually a really wacky hero, and the whole team plays around it. So expect something.
A mid Earthshaker. I want a mid Earthshaker.
That's possible. A mid Earthshaker and the occasional Naga Siren, possibly a Meepo.
No Naga Siren games for me.
He basically pioneered Radiant's Manta Naga, right? So
Reserve time.
yeah, I mean, I do remember that clip though.
1 minute in. They were actually just running down the reserve clock now.
That's the game where they beat Moshi, I believe. He was on the Knicks or something like that.
And then Naga Illusion just kept running them down one by one. I mean, he's had many such games, so I'm not too sure which game you're referring to now.
Okay, so Mineski. Oh, this is the new Mineski with Mushi. This is gonna be an interesting lineup to watch. I think they have 2 Russians. Okay, 1 Russian in Arc. They have Mag from Ukraine. They have 2 Malaysians. They have 2 Pinoys. I mean, one of them is a coach.
Bounty hunter.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that 3 teams will make it to TI from the Southeast Asian region is very encouraging for teams to give it their all here. It used to be just 1 team at one point, and then the runner-up makes it to the wild card, and now the slots have expanded, which is a really good thing, and it's also equal opportunities of sorts for teams across Southeast Asia and other regions now. You've got a bounty hunter pick coming out from the Dire side. It's rare, I have to say. Usually teams opt to pick up the Riki if they were looking for that roaming Invis hero.
So this is not a mid Earthshaker? I was really hoping for one.
I doubt
be,
it.
right?
Earthshaker versus
Could be an
Lena
offlane.
made.
Game is hard.
Radiant team ban.
Should be a support Earthshaker.
Could be an offlane one as well.
Yeah. They've chosen to ban out the Spirit Breaker. Is that indicative of any particular pick coming out? Spirit Breaker bans normally lead me to believe that Rat Tota is on their minds.
Yeah. Also, it's surprising to see a Spirit Break team against a bounty hunter banning on Spirit Breaker. It's one of the direct counters to that hero.
Yeah, but you don't usually pick up the Spirit Breaker just to deal with the bounty hunter. I mean, you can pick up an Ogre and have the Ogre roaming around. That's more than enough to deal with the bounty.
10 seconds remaining.
Because, well, bounty can't really... His harass on an Ogre is not really as effective as opposed to harassing squishy supports. While Rubik is definitely susceptible to bounty chasing him down, Ogre is good versus it.
Yeah, I mean, in that case, it's really surprising that they banned out the Spirit Breaker because if to be or not to be do pick it up, the lanes are very, very weak. They have 2 melee roamers. Don't really contribute anything in lane as such.
Well, this Tusk pick, again, this is something that we've spoken about. It's not like Tusk is... It's not one of those roaming supports you pick up unless you have an agenda or an objective behind it. Perhaps they're looking to secure a life sealer for themselves. Maybe they're trying to use it as a deterrent for to be or not to be to pick it up. Or...
But that does mean it's a core Earthshaker, which we wanted to see.
What's
Like
on?
Mughal have a very open-ended draft. Rubik is pretty decent against Lina and Bounty. Can steal track, which is pretty good.
Yeah, they have. I mean, that's the thing with picking an early Rubik, right? You basically push to be or not to be to make that choice. Do we pick up spells that are devastating against us, or do we just pick up heroes that are not that threatened by the Rubik and his spell shield? Spell steal. Now, you obviously don't want to go ahead and pick up things like the Viper
Enigma.
and even the Enigma for that matter now. But at the same time, I don't think Mughal has room for it either.
That's true. I mean, Tusk is one of the better heroes to prevent Lina from comboing someone as well. Both Tusk or Chipper, pretty decent, I would say.
But
And Lina's all about that combo till a decent amount of time.
I think the Rubik is actually really good versus Venomancer. So for one, any spell that you steal from the Venomancer is great, and secondly, the null field with the magic damage resistance aura, it's perfect
5
versus him.
seconds remaining.
We saw
Surprising
a
that-
really good Venomancer knocking out Entity yesterday.
10 seconds remaining.
Surprising that to be or not to be actually picked up the Veno into the Rubik though.
Storm Spirit.
Huh.
Dire team pick.
So they're gonna run a Storm versus the Lina at mid, and that's a Lina with a Bounty Hunter at his back. That is a
Think
scary
Storm plus
proposition for the
Tusk,
Storm.
maybe? Storm plus Tusk mid, maybe just secure him the early game advantage. Maybe.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, it's not like they don't have any kill potential if the Earthshoker makes a rotation.
5 seconds
So
remaining.
they could have things going their way as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Venomancer is one of those supports or one of those cores who's going to
Reserve
stick to
time.
lane or stick to a specific part of the map, maybe the jungle, wherever she gets her wards down, things like that. Not really one who TPs in.
Disruptor.
So we're looking at a core Venomancer here, a support Disruptor, and a
Radiant
Bounty
turn
Hunter.
back.
I hope it's not the freaking Null Talisman offlane Venomancer. That's some of the most retarded stuff we've seen in a while. Did they actually win that game with the Null Talisman offlane Veno?
They did, didn't they?
10 seconds.
No, it was on the. That was a core Veno, I believe. That was the mid lane.
Dire team
Right, that was the mid Veno, not the Null Talisman Venomancer.
I think we're talking about veterans.
Oh, right, I forgot to switch the overlay. Sorry, guys. Single monitor problems.
10 seconds remaining.
Potato production.
Yeah, just
5 seconds remaining.
because I don't have a freaking converter for my monitor wire.
Reserve time.
That's what happens when you upgrade, man. Leave things out behind.
Last ban on the board here for to be or not to be. You've already got a Batrider ban coming out from Moogle. It does look like they're looking for an offlaner on the side of the Dire. Radiant's looking for a 1 position, unless that's a 1 position Earthshaker.
Radiant
Slark,
I mean,
maybe? No.
I feel like this is a very, very decent game for Tusk. If he doesn't get caught in the Chrono or the Disruptor ultimate, he can actually ball beside it and start putting people inside that.
Oh come on, that's just wishful thinking, man.
10
You've got to stay on
I
the
think it's
extreme.
possible against a Disruptor and a Void.
I actually
I'm pretty
think
sure we're
it's
gonna see
not.
it.
5 seconds remaining.
It's so hard to have. There it is. I think that's the Miracle Hero.
That just happened. Damn.
I told you, right? Something wacky. It's his last pick hero is
it
always
always
something
is.
different.
Though Bloodseeker has seen fair bit of play in the recent times. I mean, more than he's ever seen in his life. Honestly.
But it's not terrible, I have to say. He is
I
supposedly
kind of
one
like
of the stronger
Moogle, man. I
laners.
feel like they're gonna snowball pretty hard.
But look at the high ground
And
defense
literally-
coming out from to be or not to be, man. You got Venom with the Plague Words, Disruptor along with the Void Chrono, Lina for creep clear. It's so hard for a Bloodseeker and a Storm
10
Spirit to beat
seconds
down on tier
remaining.
3s.
True. I feel the
5
YOLO-ness
seconds
channeling
remaining.
from Moogle there. And I'm gonna give him the edge here. The draft looks very funny, but I like it for some reason. I think Void takes a little bit of time to come online, and Bloodseeker's pretty good at shutting him down. I'm gonna keep my eyes on the Tusk for some of these team fights here. Well, you go ahead and do your play-by-play.
Yeah, you go ahead and do that, man. I'm actually curious to see whether this is going to be a safe lane Bloodseeker or if they're actually going to run this as a safe lane Storm, because I know that the Bloodseeker does well in the middle lane now. But I'm not too sure how he fares versus the Lina.
I mean, he has a natural health regen. Wow. That's the highest level battle pass.
Okay then. Expect It's a Disaster spams and Brutal Savage Direct to be coming out time and again.
And I'm pretty sure he went splurging in the discount season.
Yeah, I actually got tempted and picked up 80 levels myself.
You did. I knew you. I knew you would. Where's your inner Gujarati now?
Alright, let's do the introductions. On the Radiant, Miracle's going to be handling the Bloodseeker. Barry will be playing the Rubik. He's actually got that baller set, by the way. Polison's going to be playing the Earthshaker. Chibik's on the Storm Spirit. And Kai is going to be handling that Tusk.
Yeah, and to be or not to be, we have YRGs on the faces fight. We have someone on Lina. We have Longby, Babuliala on Lina. We have Longby on the Disruptor. We have Sai who's playing the Bounty Hunter, and there's Magic, 7 Magic as he's called on the Vampires.
So we are looking at a Storm Spirit that's heading mid here. And then Bloodseeker is going to be jungle?
I think it could be Bloodseeker mid with the PMS.
Yeah, it is possible. But they pulled Tangos over to Chibik, so.
True. I mean, I don't think he has enough reason to survive the Lina lane. He's going to ferry out a Saddle as well.
They're going to contest the Bounty Rune. First blood time.
I have seen First Blood with Tusk snowballing people into very, very bad spots. So I'm not really very keen on this kill here. I do remember one where they got stuck on this cliff here. I believe it was Mega Squadron as well.
This is some good positioning though from YRG. Oh, they even dusted for him. Okay then. YRG is okay. He's fine. He knew this was coming. This usually happens when the team has a Tusk.
Yeah, but they're gonna have to trade out bounty. No, they're not gonna reach theirs on time as well.
Oh, sure they are.
It's 14 seconds out.
Chibix is already here.
No. Okay, no one's really going.
But they don't have that dust anymore to work with, right? Sai, is he gonna steal this?
The battle begins.
Sure he is. So it still ends up
There's
being...
still one remaining, but I don't think it's too late to go for that now.
Poloson can probably go and pick it up. But never mind, they're actually gone, and the Bounty Hunter or rather the Bounty Hunter has now come back towards the middle lane, hoping to snipe the courier. But
and he's gonna pick up 2 bounty runes. I think he should.
If he knows it's there, that is. He's out of mana though. I mean, he's just got one more Shadow Walk.
Yeah, but they've done the correct thing and put the Bloodseeker up against the Void.
Well, battle of the sentry wards at middle lane. There was actually 3 sentry wards planted down there. The third one now in favor of the Radiant. So Bounty Hunter can't make his shenanigans work at the middle lane. They've also got an interesting Dire Observer ward. Look at where they've placed it. It's actually the first time I've seen this.
I've seen a lot of the European teams. I'm really triggered by this bounty rune still being there though. This is kind of drawing my attention for some reason.
Anyway,
I think it's actually very hard lane for Void here though. You can't really trade with Miracle because he's gonna heal up eventually.
Yeah, he's gonna heal up way more than the Void here, and with every hit that the Void takes, he's forced to make a decision. Do I time walk off that absurd base damage from the Bloodseeker, or do I simply just duke it out and hold on to it? And if he holds on to it for too long, he could get picked off with Barry rotating in.
Yeah.
It's also
There's
a safe
no point
lane.
trading Harris with him as well.
It's a safe lane Earthshaker, by the way, so Poloson is gonna get some free EXP under his tower now that it's pushing in. Meanwhile, Venomancer on this offlane started off with the boots, expecting a fair bit of aggression coming out from the Bloodseeker tri-lane, but that's not meant to be. So some interesting laning coming out from Moogle that might pay off for them, but now Miracle's in a bit of trouble here. He's actually turning around and trying to fight. He needs to get out of here. YRG will time walk out as well.
Dire's top tower is is under attack.
Double damage.
Yeah,
From the tempest
he
of
did
battle.
manage to get the time walk off, and he has a stab to work with, but it's going to be rinse and repeat for Miracle, and this lane is eventually become impossible for Void to beat.
That shook down.
For now, it's jungle for him, so he can get some heals off, but he's going to be back in lane pretty soon. How's mid lane looking like? Yeah, as expected, Storm Spirit not having the best of times.
Efficiency from Miracle, just lowering the HP on all those creeps and then snagging them all with that Blood Rage to get the bonus EXP as he leaves this camp. He's also got a pool tango, so like you said, rinse and repeat. He's going to be back in the lane on a fair bit of HP, back to harass the Void. Meanwhile at bottom, we've got a Bounty Hunter coming in, cancelling out that Clarity pushing for Polosan, but Polosan turns around and smacks him with the totem. Sai is out of mana and there's no shrine for another couple of minutes.
Yeah, well, Lina's doing really well in the mid lane, as is the Venomancer, and these long range initiations, not initiations, but they can actually mess with the Earthshaker's Blink Dagger or a Plague Ward in the wrong place.
Miracle in trouble on the top lane. He's actually going back for the kill here. If he gets bashed, he's done for, but here comes the Tusk with the snowball. Kai throws down the Ice Shards, can't quite find the mark, and YRG TP's out to safety. The thirst damage though on Miracle, it's allowing him to last hit again quite efficiently and get his HP back online. But that's a minor victory there coming out for Moogle. They sent the Void back and he's gonna have to walk back all the way to the lane while Miracle can continue farming. This is what makes Bloodseeker a really good laner. He's got almost no reason to go back to base ever, as long as he's alive.
Yeah.
Got it.
How has Storm been doing? I think he's doing reasonably well for the position he's in. There's been no real support from the task.
Dire's top tower
Again, the
is
bounty
under
wants to
attack.
rotate in on it, but there is a setting hit
Can't
at that
outrun a
point.
wildfire.
He's just being as cautious as he can under his tower, knowing that the bounty's in the vicinity. That Observer, I think it should have spotted the Rubik's rotation as well. Kai has a dust. Oh, they popped a smoke. Now they need to dust as well, but it's a tad too late. They know that he's up on the cliff, and that smoke rotation is not going to be successful from Moogle.
But they have gone in on the stuff here, but Miracle is getting beaten up by the Void. He's gonna have to walk.
They
back and
did
heal
have a
up for that.
glimpse though, and the bounty has rotated in, so I'm kind of surprised they didn't commit for this, but they're going to go in now. Miracle just got too greedy, and he should be going down. They start with the kinetic field. Miracle's taking a beating. He's just going to try and life steal with these creeps. Does get a fair bit of HP back by killing a couple of creeps on the floor. Now goes for Sai. Here comes the Tusk with the snowball. They get first blood. Miracle scores that kill, and now they want YRG. He's going to time walk a little further back to his tower and will survive.
Yeah, the thirst stacking up on Miracle really came into play there. The Silas was used really nicely. He managed to put two heroes in the thirst range. And so Venomancer is not going for the Plague Ward build. I mean, this is the second time I've seen this happen, and without that, I wouldn't have expected him to beat out the Earthshaker so easily. But
I mean,
it has happened.
it's so much damage over time, even with just 2 points in the poison Nova, in the Venomous Gale, and of course the poison
Sure.
touch. Every right click is just painfully annoying for that Earthshaker. What's his item choices like? He's got the Soul Ring, so he does have a little bit of HP regen to work with. But having a magic wand in the face of a non-Plague Ward Venomancer is a problem.
I also think the bounty hasn't achieved that much.
Okay,
Wow.
then Barry. He wanted the rune but got blown up for it instead, and the rune even ends up going to the Lina, so he's very happy with that.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, and Earthshaker also made a very, very pointless rotation. Just took a dip in the river and came back. He got a bounty rune for his troubles, but has been spotted out by the bounty hunter. PT up for Bloodseeker. What do you think is the item of choice here? Blade Mail?
Yeah, I'd probably put my eggs in the blade mail basket here.
Maybe I've seen Medallion of Courage as well.
Yeah, you definitely want a blade mail though this game. You're up against a Disruptor, Venomancer, and a Lina. But he's gonna go down before he can even think about it here. Tons of commitment. Lina, Disruptor, as well as the Void. Lina with 2 out of 2 successful rotations so far. Make that 3 if Chivix dies here, but he does have the ball lightning, so he'll zap away.
But he's caught up in terms of last hit at least. But it's still a Storm Spirit. Doesn't really want to come online this early. Can't as well. No real mana pool to speak of at this point.
Bottom lane looks like it'll go in here. Whiffed Echo Slam as it looks like 7 Magic is just gonna TP out in his face.
That is what you call a throw. Tilt. It's just slamming the empty ground there. Shaker. Very, very costly mistake, and that was Miracle's comeback after dying in lane.
What's Sai doing? He's still stuck at level 3. He's just been calling clarity potion after clarity potion so far. But the fact that Miracle is swapped over to this bottom lane means that top lane is now open for YRG to keep farming, and he's got the Chronosphere online in just a bit, so maybe he puts that TP scroll to use to chase Miracle down again.
I mean, Bounty Hunter is level 6 because he rotated a lot. But why are Tusk and
No,
Runic
he
level
isn't.
6?
Bounty Hunter's at
Sorry,
level
level 3. Level 3. But I mean, even the Rubik and the Tusk are level 3. So it's been a low XP kind of game. And now the Plague Wards start coming out. Oh, so this has been the new adjustment that most players are doing. Basically, they put in points in the Gale and the Poison Stick and then start maxing out.
I guess the incremental gain for Venomous Gale is you're essentially doubling up the initial damage and quadrupling the tick
So
damage.
you don't really take damage at level 1, right? From Venomous Gale.
You do. Well, now you do
Oh,
at
you do.
least. Anyway, they're gonna roll in now on the Venomancer. It should be his death. Even a Rupture committed along with the Blood Ride. Probably want to give the kill over to Kai if he can get a Blood Rage thrown on him. What the hell? Why is that Venomancer still alive?
I have no idea. I think they kind of blocked themselves with the shard. Only one person was hitting him. And for some reason it was the Earthshaker. That was a bit of a misplay. I mean, there have been a few misplays coming out from movie here.
So somewhere
They
along
don't
the
look as
way,
sharp as they could.
the Radiant Courier also ended up dying there. And there were no items on it though.
Could have been the Bounty Hunter there. Or it's probably one of the Plague Wards.
Yeah, I think the Plague Wards did it. Like a random Plague Ward shooting down a courier in the middle of the fight. Chibix has had a decent time though now. He's managed to catch up a little bit in terms of net worth, but Lina is just soaring so far ahead. 5,000 net worth on Lina, 84 CS, 2 nulls, Soul Ring, Arcane Boots.
And Mughal can't really secure gold in any other way other than killing heroes. They're not a tower pushing lineup. You can't just walk up towers and start hitting them. So they really need hero kills here.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, you're right. This lineup is built for things like hero kills time and again. Rupture with its low cooldown, Chibix with a hero that's not cooldown dependent. They need to fight often, but they're just waiting for that minor power spike that they can get with possibly one item on Miracle. But for now, he's just gone for some starter items. Picks up the Ring of Aquila in its entirety. Not building towards an early Blade Mail either.
I really don't see Bloodseeker as an item timing dependent hero. I think it's more likely that they were waiting on the items from the Earthshaker.
Oh, he's dead. Chronosphere, Laguna Blade, everything but the kitchen sink thrown at him to get that kill. And worth it indeed it is, as YRG's rotation is... I mean, I think Chronosphere and Black Hole are those spells that you don't really aim for, like 4-man, 5-man Chronos and Black Holes in the early game
Yeah,
stages.
definitely not at this point.
Because
You
it's
don't
not
even
like
have
you
the
can...
damage to bring.
It's not like they can make something happen if the Chrono's on cooldown just 10 minutes in, right?
I think Miracle has been gone on by the Lina. He has by the Lina and the Bounty. He
Glimpse,
flips it back, uses
Static
Static
Storm. He dead. TOT doing well so far, scoring pickups on cores time and again, but at the same time looks like the Earthshaker ends up getting a return kill on the Void at mid, along with Chibix entering the fray. So Mughal are holding on here. They're trading somewhat even, or rather at least getting something for their troubles.
Tower is under attack.
Where is he headed? Okay, they actually spotted the disruptor there. Longby is down as well, and Chibix is the one to score that kill. And they've even got a DD rune to take down this tower.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
As the
attack.
dust settles, I think the Storm Spirit and his voice do come out on top. Void, he's TPing in without a Chronosphere. He could get stun locked and brought down here. They did have the snowball. Chibix actually jumped away, so Kai is going to be the one to take the brunt of that Laguna Blade and ends up going down instead. They've got the Blood Ride coming out. Chibix is standing his ground. The LSA catches too. Bounty comes in from behind. Miracle's taken a beating and looks like he might just go down to the damage over time. One more hit ought to do it. They've got a track on him. He does go down. It's a track kill going in their favor along with a track kill on Chibix. Sai. Really adding on to the money there for his teammates.
That was very, very clutch stuff coming from that void there. Oh! Yes.
Why is he still alive? Okay then. Longby has a glimpse. What?
Couldn't really find him there. Got fogged out. Sure, they get the void, but that's very, very costly. Bloodseeker is, yeah, he's gonna have to go for this recovery Midas now. I don't think that was the initial plan here as well. I mean, he's putting out these great blood rights, but he doesn't have that many points in that skill, so it's not doing as much damage as it should.
Stupendous.
At the same time, you've got a Veil finished up on that Venomancer, so he's now augmented the damage output coming out from 4 out of 5 heroes in the lineup.
Yeah, I think if Venomancer finishes the Veil, I think she can now go for a Medallion or a Solar Crest as well, and I think she's ready to lock and load.
Venomancer's a guy, dude. Pretty sure he's a guy.
Yeah? Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
yeah, I remember that fact we read about her. Oh,
Him!
she's generally a
He!
yeah, sorry. It's a snake type thing, right? So you generally assume that snakes are feminine.
Like Nagin. Anyway, mate, you've got a Static Storm that catches 2. The Chronosphere comes out on top of it as well. They've gone on to the Storm Spirit. 1 Dragon Slave, 2 kills, and then a Laguna Blade on Miracle as he's just gonna waltz on out of there.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
This game is going south for Mughal pretty quickly here. Bloodseeker is not a hero you want to play from behind.
Yeah, but at least, you know, now you know that the Chronosphere as well as the Static Storm are on cooldown. You make a play right about now, find a pick-off and try and get out without losing too much of your own. But I like how TOT immediately takes up defensive positions inside their own jungle and, you know, disappears from the map the moment that their spells are down.
Yeah, even with the Chronosphere and the Static Storm down, I think it's really hard now that there's a level 2 Poison Nova here. Because Bloodseeker can't really keep putting Blood Rage on himself every time. Especially if he's under the Poison Nova tick damage.
Alright, Mughal gonna...
They are smoked up.
Yeah, this is what they need to do. They've got spells with minimal cooldowns and it's a lineup that's meant to fight often. But the Skank is going to be dodged again. Banana Mancer just joins his teammates at the middle lane. And with the maxed out Plague Wards now, they're going to try and push down this tier 1 tower. Mughal does have a wraparound opportunity here though. They could catch their opponents off guard with that Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker.
Ooh, Miracle has been spotted out though. They are rotating onto him. There is a
It's
glimpse
actually
as well.
Miracle that's running into the fray. Another Static Storm committed. Poloson can't jump in with the Echo Slam because he blinked in for a Fissure and ends up dying now. Or rather, Miracle ends up dying because of that. Longby is actually out of there. Chibix comes in, scores the kill on him. Kai is taking a beating as well. The Laguna Blade along with the Dragon Slave. Double kill as Barry and Kai will fall to the Lina. While the rest of Mughal are now on the way out towards their shrine.
Well,
That's Bloodstone charges for the Lina as well.
yeah. And the Storm doesn't have his running, so he got a kill on the backline on the Disruptor, but definitely not as worthwhile as the one which Lina got.
Follows on, hoping to jump in with an Echo Slam, but the Dire Observer has spotted this. They jumped in with the Echo anyway. Follows on, hit with the Venomous Gale. They might just get this kill on the Lina. She denies herself, so no real love found for Mughal there either, while Kai is now in a compromising situation and will be brought down. Chronosphere is back online if they really want to commit on Chibix here. YRG jumps forward, doesn't drop the Chrono as Chibix ball lightnings out, but the glimpse is there to pull him back, and then there's a Chrono preventing him from jumping out regardless. He's gonna go down here. Looks like there was something stolen, it was the time dilation, and Chibix actually ends up surviving after all.
Yeah, he survives, but at this point, Miracle is doing too little in these fights for them to have any impact. He has a Midas, but this is a recovery Midas. And Void already talking that Vlad's, he has a decent amount of armor to work with, and I think with the Diffusal Blade he should be able to kill the Storm and the...
You've also got a Shadow Blade finished up on this Lina now. While she did lose some of her Bloodstone charges there, she's still a real force to be reckoned with. Even has the extra point coming out in... she got her talent up as well with the extra 50 damage. So she is hitting like a truck at the moment and does have that Laguna for the pure damage to bring down heroes in a jiffy.
And I mean, we don't see a lot of Bounty Hunter nowadays, but the net worth graph will tell you why the hero is so good at what he does. They're already 11k ahead, at 17 minutes in, which is a massive lead.
He's also picked up his drums of endurance next, and should be going for the medallion of courage as well. He's got a strange queue of items there in his quick buy.
So Hood competed for Venomancer as well, so Echo Slam, Blood Right. Blood Right is pure though, I believe.
Yeah, it's
Blood
pure.
Right is pure.
I mean, it's the best thing to have versus the Storm Spirit though.
Yeah, Storm and Earthshaker is definitely one of the better items. And it makes Venomancer innate very, very tanky. He's actually killing off the Tusk most of the time with his Poison Sting. But it looks like both teams have taken a bit of a break for farming.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Bot
under
lane
attack.
pushed all the way by a solo bounty on his boss.
Chivix, that Bloodstone, I really don't know how much value it's going to add, but what else can he really build here that would help him? I mean, if he picks up a BKB, he's going to be out of mana before he can even take the fight to his opponents. Orchid won't help too much either. Maybe he'll be able to silence one of those heroes, but
I think this could have been a Yule's game, but those builds never seem to work out. I think the safe build is the Bloodstone Orchid. Or the Bloodstone BKB for that matter.
yeah. But, I mean, they're giving Moogle a little bit of time here, so Miracle's Midas is going to start to pay dividends. He is going for the BKB as his first item, which does seem like the right choice.
But it's going to limit his damage by so much.
Not really, though. I mean, as long as his teammates manage to get some of them low, the thirst really adds on to your damage in a big way.
I feel that's like a very unlikely scenario that all of the heroes going down. It's more likely that their heroes go low because of the Poison Nova, the constant magic Harris coming up from Lina.
There is a lot riding on
Vlad's up.
Poloson, though. His Echo Slams are going to be the MVPs of this game if Moogle can make a comeback. But for now, TOT are on the
Pretty
hunt.
safe Rubik kill though.
Yeah, and with this Rubik kill, they're even going to get this tower quite comfortably. Barry lifts and throws back YRG, gets glimpsed back towards the kinetic field and will be brought down, giving Lina her godlike spree.
His bottom tower is under attack.
No reactions from Poloson, he's just going to try and push the bottom lane instead.
Now you can't really TP onto a tower anymore when the enemy is already there because they're gonna drop a static storm on
Radiant
it.
structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They could go Roshan if they wanted to. I mean, they have the Vlads, they've got that damage talent on the Lina as well.
I think Void does way less damage. Oh, they have Lina.
Dire's middle tower is under
I
attack.
think Lina would do well with the Bloodstone at this point. As
The Aegis, you mean?
yeah, with the Aegis, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I guess they're just gonna give it over to Lina itself.
I mean, it's not like Void is contributing a lot of damage. He has Vlads, Aura's good,
Dire's
but
bottom tower is
no
under
real
attack.
damage. As such.
Here comes Void, drops a Chronosphere, he's managed to catch just Miracle, but that's enough if they can get the kill. Spin bashed, still stays alive through this all, gets taken into the snowball, comes out, gets the kill, but gets hit with the Poison Nova and will be brought down. As Magic IWY is on a mega kill streak. Poloson goes, oh, he's in the fountain. Is he gonna tick down to the Venomous Gale and the Poison Nova? Probably not.
Doesn't look like.
That was a close shave for them.
Fair trade. Void for your Bloodseeker.
Yeah.
I think that was a pretty bad chrono though. Just catching someone at the very edge. Very hastily done there.
I think Earthshaker blinked out of there in the nick of time. I may be
No, he
mistaken.
blinked back in and used the chrono. Blink has a cooldown of 12 seconds.
Storm now chasing a Disruptor that's warding by himself, but the glimpse keeps him alive. Meanwhile, another jump in from the Storm. He's out of mana now, but he's managed to find side. The dust has been popped as well. And here comes the Venomancer. Spits out with the Venomous Gale on a couple of heroes, but Miracle behind will bring down Long B. Sai is on the run. The Bloodright will not tag him. He's still making a break for it. But Chivix is out of mana and can't continue chasing.
Dust wore off as well. Really see no reason for Mughal to be fighting without Lina.
I mean, she's up to level 18 now, and her next item does look to be that Bloodthorn.
Radiant's middle tower is under
So
attack.
they are building her up as a significant source of physical damage inside that chronosphere.
I think the problem is still that these two supports are really poor coming out from Mogul. Like the Tusk literally has no items. And with the track gold adding up, Bounty's picked up a Solar Crest. Disruptors are on, so not too bad for the TTOT, I believe they're called. To be or not to be.
Chibix has his Bloodstone though, and he's got 13 charges on it now. He's building towards his Orchid, so there is the potential to snowball into a favorable situation here for Mughal. And I believe Miracle should have his BKB flying out to him as well, so this gives them a fair bit of fighting power now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I still think Venomancer has enough magic damage to zone out these two supports from actually doing anything effective in the fight. He's looking really strong with the pipe, the veil, even a force stuff. Can force people out of the blood right if they're stunned and stuff like that.
And this Venomancer is really the biggest issue that Mughal are going to have to deal with. But now they're going in with the Aegis, starting to do some damage on this tower. Even with the Illusion Rune standing up, they have vision on the high ground. While Plague Wards will start to stack up here. How does Mughal initiate here? They're going to need a big Echo Slam to start things off, but it does seem like a tall order. Chibix is not even in the vicinity. His TP has just cooled down. There's also stolen Plague Wards from Barry though, so that's going to help mount some sort of a defense.
The tower has fallen and TTOT, they're more than happy to fall back, go for these shrines, secure some more gold, and then go for the fight. I think Void can do with one more item, but maybe that's too far away at this point.
Yeah, they've also got an Orchid just sitting in the fountain for Lina, so might have been inefficient.
I think they still want to fight with the Aegis here. So one more fight before they actually try and siege high ground.
Got a snowball from the Tusk. It looks like they're going to go in here onto the Venomancer, but he's silenced up for now. But he's so tanky, they just can't bring him down before he pops his spells. Then even drop a Chrono on top of this all. Veno, he didn't get his spells off, but so much damage is tanked up, and then he even spits out the Poison Nova while Lina is cleaned up and follows on. YRG is going to work on Miracle. Miracle is not going to survive much longer, and this looks like it's just a recipe for disaster here for Mughal as they lose 4 and get just a Banana Mancer. They literally threw everything at him, and they brought him down after his Poison Nova, and look at this. Even Chibix gets stunned and silenced again, making it a full 5-man wipe.
I'm just going to point out that there was a stolen Chrono in that fight as well, but it didn't do anything much. Void can still walk around in the stolen Chrono, I believe.
Yep.
Didn't really do much. The Chrono was actually pretty massive coming out from the Void. They picked off around 2 heroes just on the back of that Chrono. But yeah, Venomancer's tankiness really added to that.
It's fortunate for Mughal though that the creep waves have been pushed out of the bottom lane, so they can't quite go in and take barracks on the back of that skirmish victory. But
I mean, props to the Bounty Hunter. He's put out a lot of Solar Crest charges onto the Venomancer, keeping him alive in that fight there.
Nothing to burn.
Okay, so Venomancer now going for a little bit of a right lane heavy build. Angling for that Hurricane Pike there as well.
Time is money.
Chibix has now burned through a couple of Bloodstone charges after that last death as well. His BKB is nothing short of a pipe dream at the moment. But without the Aegis, perhaps TOT are just feeling a little too spooked to take this fight. One death on the Lina could send a lot of gold swinging back into Mughal's favor, so playing it safe is in their best interests. Especially since this is the last best of 1 before the BO3s begin.
Yeah, they were probably waiting for the Chrono to come online as well. It is online now.
You're gonna go for the second shrine, why not? Might as well get the extra gold in your pockets and maybe even finish up that Bloodthorn on the Lina before you take your next fight.
And I'm still feeling no damage coming out from this Bloodseeker here. Straight up BKB. Not really doing too well there.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, he does need more items at this point. BKB is definitely helping him survive some of the damage output coming out from TOT, but Like you said, they just don't have enough firepower to bring down heroes in a jiffy. Mogul. Gonna have to defend the high ground again, I believe. They've lost both their shrines. They're gonna lose their last... Okay, their second last outer tower on this top lane. And TOT has the opportunity to swing back bottom and try and take the base.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this Venomancer and he's been putting in so much work. I think they can wait for the Aegis as well. Should be up in 40 seconds. Yeah, they can push out the middle tier 2 and then go for Roshan. They have ample amounts of vision with the Plague Wards as well.
That's Roshan may respawn in 30, so post 30 seconds, that's the minimum time that he could respawn.
Yeah, that's the Aegis expiry time.
Whoa, where did that happen? Okay, bottom lane, Poloson is down, and another Bloodstone charge gets added to TOT's tally.
Your team being put to work there by
Gold for me.
He's got way too much mana regen now. He can permanently stay with the Fiery Soul charges.
40 mana regen.
Top lane, Chivix, he's being scouted, but he knows he's there now. He knows he's being tailgated here by Sai. But behind they've got a pick off here. Actually, they pull back Kai and throw down their spells, but they can't quite finish the job. Meanwhile, Chivix is jumping in. They've actually baited the Storm Spirit with that Disruptor. The Snowball is there, but it's into a Chronosphere. They're going to get the kill on both the Tusk as well as the Disruptor. Now Miracle is entered the fray. Time Walk takes back some of the damage. The LSA is there though, and he catches both of them. Now Miracle, he's just getting hammered in his face by YRG, who Time Walks again and shrugs off the damage. Barry is down to the Laguna Blade as well. And this looks like Mogul could be making their last stand on the high ground. Look at Poloson though, looking for an Echo Slam on the low ground, getting in position, has it available. No one to back him up though. And there's no creeps to soak up that damage either. Poloson, what are you doing? This is such a dangerous move. He does get the stun off, drops the Echo Slam. Chivix comes in as well. They do get the force off on Lina, who's still alive. She pops the Shadow Blade, turns around, gets stunned up, gets whacked into the air and brought down. The godlike streak ended with 1500 gold going in favor of Kai's Tusk, but Kai is still gonna end up dropping here. And so has the Storm Spirit. More track gold going in favor of the Dire. It's a 5-man wipe.
I think it's safe to say that it's GG with the Lina coming back in 4 seconds as a BOT as well. Yeah, looks like this is going to be game 4.
Yeah, they're gonna get at least one lane of barracks here. There's no tier... I mean, the tier 2 at the middle lane still stands, so they can't transition over to the mid barracks. But they can sure as hell go towards the bottom lane. Oh, TOT, what have you done? You just gave Miracle a freebie. No, it's not a dieback. He respawned with the Bloodstone.
He respawned with that.
But that's 1300 gold over to Miracle.
I actually think they could have gone for one more access.
Oh, they're gonna get more here. They've blocked out the Venomancer, but he gets forced after over the cliff. Chivix jumps in further. Static Storm holds him in position while Void beats down on him. Sai comes in. More track money towards TOT. Miracle pops his BKB and tries to man fight with the Blade Mail activated. Drops a blood right on the floor as well. And is making a run for it. The glimpse is there on Poloson, but he blinks out immediately. Miracle still being chased down here as the Janara hit will score a kill. He's down for 67, but he does have a buyback. Liv comes out, the Tusk with the punch, sends Sai into the air, while YRG is just chasing a stray Rubik behind. Poloson goes down with a Venomancer who just won't stop right-clicking with the poison attacks. TOT again scoring a bunch of kills there, with Lina making her entrance in the nick of time to bring down the barracks.
Yeah, Bloodstone charge is definitely helping the Lina rejoin these fights. And I called the GG a bit too early, but I think it's safe that there it is. Miracle calls it as well.
And so ends Miracle's run through the Open Qualifier number 1. And with that, Mogul will be knocked out. TOT will continue onwards to become the semi-finalist, or one of the semi-finalists at least, for the SEA Open Qualifiers for TI7. Stay with us, guys. I'm CloudX. We'll be right back. Although I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to put the stream down because I absolutely cannot hear anything from my left ear right now. I should really get this checked, man.
It's not as funny as you make out to be.
I need to get this checked, dude. I'm a little scared now after you mentioned it might be serious.
Oh yeah, because okay, cool. I mean, I have no words for your dilemma here. It's not like you can hear me anyway, so it doesn't.
To hell with you, man. Okay, you know what? I think let's just put the stream down. You're right. I should get this checked out before we start tomorrow's broadcast as well. But yeah, there'll be plenty of streams for the SEA Open Qualifiers. We'll probably just host one of the channels here on our Twitch channel and leave you guys to it. If you're on YouTube, apologies guys. We're going to have to put the stream down in just a bit. But we will be back again tomorrow at 1:30 in the afternoon following Entity Esports, or rather Entity Gaming's journey through the Open Qualifier bracket number 2. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do hit the follow button on our Twitch channel or the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. And do check out some of our other videos as well. We've just recently uploaded a story about Sumail and his journey through competitive Dota, which definitely does deserve a watch. If you've enjoyed Gambit's casting, you can find him on Twitter. You can just type !casters in chat and it should throw you his link. Or you can go to twitter.com/shonak88 and follow him over there. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter at @TheRealCloudX. And don't forget to follow AFK Gaming on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch and YouTube as well. Until next time, see you guys. Have a great evening. Adios.